my old employer would be like, "Where's your gloves?" Well, hello and welcome back to Papa Woody Shop. I am out here on the 61 unibody. Last video I painted this par 15 on this truck on the floorboard. Here it is. This is how it looks. Let's give this stuff a shot, see what happens. I've never done this stuff before. Pretty much only seen it put on. So I'm going to be finding out along with you guys. Well, probably some of you have put it on, so not necessarily finding out with you. I will just one on another one and another one, I guess. See if I can get it square with itself. Right in this crotch of this edge, right there when I pushed on it, I tore it, which I sort of don't think that that's too big a deal, because you know, really what all we're trying to do with this is quiet down the road noise and stuff. So that one I put right up against these plates for the body mounts. So I'm just going to do that again. Now to leave this spot in the middle, I'll just, like I said, cut strips. I've got a strip right here. I can just put that right over top. You're about to see what I mean by the tear on. Some of you already know what I mean by the tear because some of you have already put this on. For sure. Cool. I've seen this stuff put on a lot of different times in videos, and something that I've always wanted to do this for this truck. So I'm pretty excited to be doing this. And figure getting ready for the electrical, which hopefully is going to be here in the next couple of weeks. Well, I was told 2 weeks ago, but won't get into that right now because I'm not terribly excited about how long that's taken. This one I'm just going to try to put it right. Center that as best I can. I haven't got the shifter all figured out yet for this, so I will, somehow got myself I don't know what I did, but I did something. I'm leaking. Not even using a knife. My old employer would be like, "Where's your gloves?" Jeez, oh criminy. I don't have anything against safety, but when safety just kind of gets in the way of everything you're doing, and it causes you to just not even recognize dangers, like when you start to get to the point where you feel like you're so safe that something's not going to hurt you, you're setting yourself up for a real problem. Like, I don't know what I did here. Looks like I just got the end of my finger. I felt over here, there was like a sharp point. I must have, yeah, it's right there. Must have ran my finger across there. I'm gonna go wash that real fast just because I should, I guess. And I'll get rid of some of this trash and then come back and see how much more of this I can get finished up. It's not that bad, it's just dried up all over my fingers and it doesn't look great. Okay, I'm back. It's like, if we get crazy safe, you know, and we're wearing gloves for everything, what's the Band-Aid company gonna do? You know, they'll put them out of business. So thinking about that, you know, I watched the thing. You guys probably all know who Mike Rogue is. Rogue. Dirty Jobs. So he's got a really cool theory on safety, and his theory is not safety first. Let me put it to you that way. But should check it out sometime. Anyway, enough about all that. Let's see. Let's keep going with this stuff on the floor. I'm really excited to get this truck running, and I really want it running pretty badly. But as you guys know, I have not been doing a very good job of recording videos. I've been kind of slacking. But part of that's been because I'm waiting on this wiring harness. Too long. Too long. I've been waiting for it. So up in here, I don't know if you guys can see this spot right here right now, but I have a lot more work to do. I gotta finish building this little plate that kind of blocks off this hole where the steering column goes through. So I'm not gonna go too far up that. I'm just gonna get this last piece like right here. But eventually I am gonna go up that firewall with this stuff. But I have more work to do there, and I honestly, I don't know. Back here I got some work to do because I got to put seatbelts in. I figured out what I did with my finger. Earlier I was cutting something open with my pocket knife, and I just filleted a tiny bit of the skin off, but it wasn't bleeding. And And so I think that I caught that little spot on something sharp over there, and because it was missing majority of the skin, it is now bleeding. The hole that was right here, I wound up cutting it out too, so I put a new piece in here, and I just haven't got around to getting another bolt put in, so I got to do that. But that's not too big a deal. I just got to remember to do it, because here I am putting all this stuff to try to keep sound down, and if I don't have that bolt in, I guarantee you that's going to make some noise. That's going to be a noisy spot. Something along those lines, I'd imagine. Okay, so if I kind of do this, and then if I just press on this with my thumb, not the one that's, not the finger that's hurting, but the thumb, that's true safety, right? Like, once this one's injured, don't use it. Use the others. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, my dad had a friend, and one time we were changing a battery, and he says, you got your safety glasses on, don't you? And I was like, no, I was just a kid. I didn't know what he's talking about. I was like, what? And he says, yeah, close one eye. That way, if the battery blows up, you still got one good one. Yeah, he was funny. My mom and dad are going to watch this video. They're going to be like, who was that? But I'm betting money that they will have a pretty good guess of who that was. But I'm not going to mention any names in this video. But he was a character. But that kind of stuck with me over the years, you know? It's like, honestly, if you don't have safety glasses, shut one eye would definitely work. Okay. There we go. I'm stopping right here at this edge. I'm not going to roll down. I'm not going to do anything here. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to carpet this or mat it, whatever I do. I haven't decided that yet. Carpet seems pretty cool. But I'm the kind of guy that doesn't keep things very clean. So carpet is cool, but at the same time, for a guy like me, carpet is kind of dangerous because I will wind up getting it filthy. However, you know, you can clean it, so. Anyway, I know you guys are way over there and you can't see it, but that looked pretty good. I did all right. So, I really should get a thing to clear those. Those are the holes for the seat. I'll go back here. I might just go do that real quick before I get too crazy. As I get too crazy. There we go. Too crazy, just like that. This is a rubber grommet right here. I couldn't get it out, so I'm just gonna go around it. Go right over the top of it. What the heck? And then I gotta find these holes. There's one. There's the other one. Here is the culprit that sliced my finger. I'm gonna work that around, work that in like that. Being careful not to use the injured finger. I'll just use this sucker that'll help dole it up so it doesn't get me quite as easy next time. But the real problem with that is, I know a guy, whenever I need something sharpened, I need a knife sharpened, I give it to my son. My son's got a knife sharpener that won't quit. And if you don't say something to him, he'll get you your knife back where you can shave with it. I'm not kidding. He'll give it back to you sharp enough to really hurt yourself. Okay. Man, that looks pretty good, honestly. Except for the gap right here and the gap right there because it tore, and this gap right here and that big gap down the middle. Other than that, it looks good. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but it's like it's like, I think it's the little tailgate clasp or whatever they're called, the little chain things or whatever. I think it's funny because I'm trying to get this thing quiet and the truck keeps making a bunch of noise. This one here, I'm just going to go right over top. This will be under the seat. So I'm not at all concerned about overlap. So one part of my thought process with this stuff is like, I have that wiring harness coming, and the brain box or whatever the thing is called, my plan is to mount it behind the seat or under the seat, however that's going to look. And so I want to get this done so that when that gets here, I can just get it mounted on top of this stuff. Whatever I do for carpet or matting, I'm not sure that it'll go under the seat. I don't know. We'll see. But for sure, I needed to get this done so that I can put wires. So I'm also not real sure yet just whether or not wires are going to come along on inside here. I've thought about that. I've thought about just running them right along the edge of this tunnel right here on the driver's side, and then maybe putting this on top, right over top of the wires, to protect it and hide the wires, because my other option is like running underneath and coming up, but I'd rather have the wires like inside than go down and be exposed to the weather and the road grime and whatever else they'd be exposed to. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to run them right through here. And I've thought about it enough where I'm pretty sure I'm going to run them right here on the passenger side or the driver's side, so that the only real kicking that gets is driver. As passengers get in and out, the person in the middle or whatever else, if it was here, then it would take a lot of abuse from people's feet coming in and out, where right here, then it's it's really not going to have a whole lot of this. That's my theory. That was my dad's leftovers from his project. Thanks, Dad. So, and I bought another box because I wasn't sure that what I got from my dad was going to be enough, and I lack that side. And I'm probably going to do like inside the doors, more of the firewall there, probably something here up in the, I'm going to take this headliner out, put some up there. So anyway, I'm probably going to shut you guys off for a minute. I'm just going to finish up that other side, and then I'll bring you back when I got it done and show you, and then wrap up this video, because I'm just really looking for some short video. But okay, gotcha. Okay, I finished up, got it done. Well, to this point at least. Like I said, I got to finish that, but I got a little bit of work to do around the steering column, and so I'll get that done and then finish that. I'm still going to probably go up the firewall. I have a lot of work to do still there with put the heater and AC in, but anyway, that's that. I got a patch to do there, one over there. But like I said, I got more to do, so not too big a deal. I quit worrying about the overlap. I started overlapping a lot, and I got some more patchwork to do here and here. But overall, it's done enough to get a video out. That's what I wanted to do, is get a video out so that I'm not going another week again. It seems like it's really easy just for the weeks to just go by without putting something together. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, share it if you got somebody that's doing this. One thing I will say is that if you're doing this in the summertime, I don't think that the scissors are going to work, because as I got to the stuff that I had in the house that was pretty warm, the scissors wasn't working very well, because that's, you know, it's like a tar kind of on the back side of this stuff. So that's probably not going to work in the summertime. Probably going to have to use a knife. That would probably just work better. But other than that, it's pretty simple. It's just about putting it down and then rolling it down, making sure it's, and if you're really hung up with it not overlapping, then it's going to take quite a bit longer than it took me. I was pretty fast because I just threw it on there. So anyway, until next time, remember that Jesus loves you, and thanks for watching. Have a blessed week.